In February 2015, Maximilian Schmidt was arrested for selling approximately 4.1 million euros worth of drugs from his bedroom. At 19 years old, he ran an international drugs empire by himself.
Der Dealer, ein gerade mal 20 Jahre junger Mann.
Marihuana, LSD und Haschisch, einer der größten Drogenfunde, der je in Deutschland gemacht wurde.
Drogenhandel 2.0, das ist was Einzigartiges in Deutschland.
Dass es um so viel Drogen, um so viel Geld ging, das war schon erstaunlich. Und dann, was, so ein junger Bursche?
Ich habe noch ein Einsatzmittel vor Ort.
To understand how Maximilian Schmidt became Shiny Flakes, we need to look at his early life in Leipzig, Germany. His story starts in a normal, everyday setting, but even from a young age he showed signs of being different. He grew up in the Goldstein district, a quiet area with tree-lined streets. Maximilian lived with his mother and stepfather in a modest apartment block, leading a life that seemed typical for a young boy. Maximilian attended the Werner Heisenberg Schule, a type of secondary school in Germany that focuses on practical education. He was an average student, not particularly standing out. His teachers saw him as a quiet, introverted boy who kept to himself. However, Maximilian had a sharp mind and a strong interest in computers. As a teenager, Maximilian spent a lot of time with technology. He taught himself programming and web design, perfect skills for someone planning to run an illegal business. For Maximilian, the digital world was a place of endless possibilities and a way to escape his everyday life. Maximilian's neighbors noticed that he rarely socialized. He greeted them every now and then, but that's it. He spent most of his time at home, often staying up late at night on his computer. While other teenagers were out having fun, he was exploring the depths of the internet. His relationship with his mother was typical. She worked hard to support him, and while they had some disagreements, she didn't fully understand how deep Maximilian's interest in the internet had become. He often locked himself in his room and only really had contact with her when she washed his clothes. He even cooked for himself. To her, he was just a quiet teenager obsessed with his computer. In this seemingly normal life, the seeds of Maximilian's future as Shiny Flakes were being planted. His tech skills and curiosity about the dark parts of the internet were setting the stage for his transformation. Max was about to go from a quiet teenager to one of the darknet's most notorious figures. It was a cold night in Leipzig. For Maximilian, it was one of many. He was chatting with his online friend on Skype, who went by the alias Dummes Schwein, which translates to stupid pig. Driven by his curiosity, the 19-year-old was already well versed in minor online crimes and hacking.
Damals habe ich mich mit jemandem unterhalten, den ich unter den alias Dummes Schwein kenne. Und du redest über viele Sachen dann im Laufe der Nacht. Also es zieht sich dann immer, redest über jeden möglichen Bullshit. Und irgendwann ist man dann irgendwie drauf gekommen, hey, Silk Road, was ist da drauf? Zack, zack, zack. Und da ging es, ich glaube, in dem Moment primär darum, was bieten die dort Richtung Internetbetrug an, bis ich realisiert habe, da geht es eher so um Drogen.
Maximilian couldn't believe his eyes. How could these items be sold on the internet? He looked through every tab and became more curious with every click he made. But that's not all. He had even better plans. He saw where Silk Road was lacking: security, quality, and customer service. Max realized he could create a better, safer platform. Using his skills in programming and web design, he began building his own website. But a website alone wasn't enough. Maximilian needed suppliers. His first problem was finding a reliable dealer online, a tough step for someone with absolutely no knowledge about selling illegal substances. This was a crucial part of his operation, and he knew it had to be handled with care. Maximilian's first interaction with a dealer was through one of the many forums on the darknet. These forums were places where dealers and buyers communicated, often in encrypted messages to protect their identities. After careful consideration, Maximilian reached out to a well-known dealer who had a reputation for high-quality products and reliability. He was known as Red Bull. Maximilian used a pseudonym and communicated through PGP encryption to ensure that their messages could not be intercepted or read by anyone other than the intended recipient. These automated parcel lockers offer significant advantages for someone in his line of work. First and foremost, they provide a high level of anonymity. Maximilian could receive packages without ever interacting with a human, reducing the risk of exposure. Pack stations are accessible 24/7, allowing Maximilian to pick up his orders at any time, day or night. This flexibility is crucial for maintaining a low profile. Additionally, pack stations are located in various spots around the city, making it easy for Maximilian to choose locations that are discreet and out of sight. With his first drug order safely in hand, Maximilian felt a surge of excitement and anticipation. His operation was now in motion.
Als ich die erste Bestellung bei Red Bull aufgegeben habe, da ging es, glaube ich, um lächerliche 25 Gramm Kokain, irgendwie 10 oder 20 Gramm MDMA und das war's auch schon. Ich hatte es auf einmal da und musste erst mal gucken, hey, was ist das? Wie riecht das? Wie sieht das aus? Es war alles sehr neu und ungewöhnlich. Was habe ich mit Drogen am Hut? Was machen die Leute damit überhaupt? Wenn du Filme guckst, irgendwelche Spielfilme, ist immer alles cool, bis aufs das wurde immer schlecht geredet, aber ansonsten ist es immer, hey, Party, alles ist witzig.
Hat auch alle überrascht, weil alle davon ausgehen, dass auch solche Leute, die eben auf diesem Gebiet tätig sind, auch regelmäßig konsumieren und das ist eben Max nicht.
As soon as Maximilian picked up his first order from the packing station, he was straight back to finishing his website. Maximilian exclusively accepted Bitcoin payments, making it nearly impossible for authorities to link the money back to him. While Silk Road operated on the dark web, making it difficult for average buyers to locate, Maximilian had a different strategy. He launched his website on the clear web. This decision significantly increased his risk of being discovered, but with high risk came high reward. Maximilian began constructing his website on December 10th, 2013. Just 2 weeks later, on Christmas Day, the website was up and running. Maximilian had actually reached his goal. The challenge he set for himself was complete. Because he didn't want to be involved in the distribution of the products, he decided that dummes Schwein would take over this part. At least that's what Maximilian thought. The first orders came in. Dummes Schwein, whose real name Maximilian still doesn't know to this day, went offline. He never heard from him again. Ironically, he was the one who told Maximilian he could never accomplish his goal. Now, Maximilian was on his own. He went on a little shopping spree, picking up a vacuum sealer, a digital scale, an impulse heat sealer, and a small fridge. The process was very simple. You paid for your products on Maximilian's website in advance. He processed the orders, and within 2 to 3 days the products were shipped to your address. The reason why the shipping was so fast was because Maximilian used parcel lockers to send out his packages just before they were picked up by DHL. He ordered more packages from Red Bull to keep up with the constant customer demand. In January, his first month after launching the website, Maximilian made over $15,000 in profit.
Das ganze Geld hat er gar nicht ausgegeben.
Der größte Spaß an der Sache war einfach zu sehen, wie es wächst.
Andere würden das vermutlich nicht hinkriegen, weil sie sich Sorgen machen oder Ängste haben oder denken, das kann ich doch nicht machen, das ist doch unmöglich, sich so aufzuführen. Da schädige ich doch ganz viele Leute mit. Diese Skrupel hat er aber gar nicht. Und deswegen ist ihm das auch gelungen, so kaltschnäuzig vorzugehen. Ich kontrolliere alles, ich stehe über den Dingen, ich kann das. Das ist gefährlich.
To keep track of purchases, Maximilian maintained an Excel list of customer orders that he swore to delete after shipping was complete. This list included the address where the package was shipped, the contents of the order, the full name, and the date of purchase. It ranged from 5 grams of Coke here, 10 grams of speed there, 7 pink Burger King pills, etc. But sometimes there were also orders for 100 grams of Coke, 400 Heineken pills, and much larger quantities. To quickly process these large orders, he kept a stock of popular products hidden in his bedroom, under his bed, in his drawer, and even in Tupperware containers for storing illegal substances. To maintain high customer satisfaction, he included small packets of gummy bears with his orders. Over time, he also sent some of his products to laboratories in Munich and Switzerland to test their purity and safety. If they were not pure enough, he would not sell them under any circumstances. As you can tell, Maximilian slowly got the hang of it, and the orders rose from 1 to 3 per day, gradually progressing to 10 orders every single day.
Ganz am Anfang hattest du natürlich großen Respekt davor, wie, oh Gott, vielleicht ist es wie im Film, du machst dir was und boom, die Polizei kommt. Aber als du dann die technischen Hintergründe verstanden hast, war das verpufft und dann waren einfach noch die vielen Möglichkeiten da, was du machen konntest. Wie ein Spiel.
Just like a game, Maximilian was mastering his moves, but little did he know, the German police were about to make their move. By the summer of 2014, Maximilian was handling 40 to 50 orders a day. The exponential growth curve was clearly starting to spike. His website had everything, from common psychedelics to prescription medications. It was a one-stop shop for various products. His website was gaining international attention, attracting customers from all over the world. From Singapore and Mexico to the US and China, people wanted to order from his site. His Excel list was getting longer, adding up to 100 rows per day.
June 26, 2014. I am a tenant of an apartment in Leipzig. Today, around 8:15 a.m., I left my apartment. Around 12:50 p.m., I returned and found 2 A5-sized shipping envelopes on my mailbox. Both were marked with Fund Gruber Leipzig as the sender. Since I didn't know any Fund Gruber in Leipzig, I took both envelopes into my apartment. I then called my neighbor and asked if he had ordered something on eBay, which he denied. He examined both envelopes and said, "Let's open them. Let's take a look inside." When the shipping envelopes were opened, we found several gray plastic bags inside. We immediately notified the police.
Maximilian was rather stingy. Sometimes he didn't pay enough postage on his envelopes, even though tens of thousands of euros were coming in daily.
Bei 1 oder 2 denkt man sich sicherlich jetzt noch nichts dabei, aber es häufte sich halt dann diese Feststellung bundesweit. Und dann stellte man halt fest, es gibt diesen Absender nicht. Es sind alles fiktive Anschriften.
These packets all had one similarity. They were sent from the Postal Distribution Center in Radefeld. This was the first clue for authorities to consider Leipzig as a focal point in their investigation.
Sendungen gehen immer zurück, das kannst du nicht vermeiden. Dann kann die Polizei natürlich herausfinden, wo wurde es abgesendet. Das führt nicht zu mir.
German authorities couldn't get far with this lead either because Maximilian did a good job of covering his tracks. He had a big advantage being well connected in the world of cybercrime. He needed packing station accounts to send envelopes, bank accounts to convert Bitcoin into cash, and cash registers to buy stamps. All of this had to be precisely managed to avoid getting caught by the police. Every move needed to be calculated. He met an additional dealer named Dutch Master who specialized in making exclusive pills like Chupa Chups and other MDMA tablets. When Dutch Master pressed 1 million pills, Maximilian immediately bought 150,000 of them for bulk orders. The courier had no idea he was delivering the products right in front of Maximilian's house. He instructed him with something like, "Send your guy there, then they will meet each other." He always spoke in the third person because saying, "I'll come pick it up," would have seemed unprofessional. His online criminal activity originated from the website Crime Network. There, he learned how to steal passwords, hack into eBay accounts, and much more. He did it mostly for fun. After all, he was only 16 years old at the time.
Mein Profilbild auf Crime Network war Kim Jong-un, der Diktator aus Nordkorea. Der ist ja cool, also so vom Aussehen. Was er da in Nordkorea macht, keine Ahnung.
Er hat sich dort rein verpflichtet, dort war er jemand, dort hat er eine Bedeutung gehabt. Da hat man drüber gesprochen, über ihn, hat ihn als tollen Hecht empfunden. Das hat ihm alles geschmeichelt, das hat ihm alles gefallen und das war seine Welt, wo er sich die Anerkennung, die er scheinbar vermisst hat, geholt hat.
The police stumbled upon an envelope found in Baden-Württemberg. Further investigation revealed that the buyer of these products frequently visited a website called Shiny Flakes. However, finding the owner of the site proved to be a bigger challenge than they initially thought. An impressum or any identifying information was not found on this website. At least the police found where the server was located. It was in the Netherlands. The hosting provider was Cloudflare, based in San Francisco, USA. Cloudflare's primary function was to counter attacks from competitors trying to crash Maximilian's site. Additionally, Cloudflare provided security features that protected the site from being easily traced back to its owner, making it difficult for the police to determine who was behind Shiny Flakes. They were feeling hopeless. Not being able to track down the owner of Shiny Flakes was a major setback to their investigation. By the end of December 2014, 1 year after the website's launch, Maximilian's bedroom was filled with packages worth hundreds of thousands of euros. Gradually, the orders became more than he could handle. Working up to 16 hours a day with no breaks became his normal routine. Maximilian had now reached a total of 15,000 orders, often handling up to 150 a day. At his peak, he made over 100,000 euros in profit in a single day. Who knows where this could have led? Incoming packages from his dealers were difficult to transport. As a result, Maximilian called multiple taxis daily to drive to different packing stations to either pick up or send orders. Even if you could tell where the envelope was sent from, there were more than 100 packing stations or parcel lockers in Leipzig. What were the police supposed to do? Guard every single one? Maximilian kept Red Bull very busy with his orders. Red Bull sent large shipments via a single mailbox to a packing station in Möcken, an amateur mistake. The main packing station Maximilian drove to was the same one where Red Bull sent his large orders. Red Bull, Maximilian's very first dealer, was caught and arrested. After his arrest, the lead pointed directly to Maximilian. The files indicated that Red Bull had been regularly sending a large number of packages to a specific packing station in Leipzig. This information allowed the police to identify the parcel locker where Maximilian frequently picked up his products. The police followed Maximilian to his home, observing it every day. They were waiting for the perfect moment to make their final move. On February 16, 2015, Maximilian woke up rather late, around 10 a.m., because he had worked until the early hours. His courier was scheduled to arrive at 2 p.m., driving a grey Opel Astra and delivering 7 large cartons. They met, and Maximilian got his packages into his apartment. So far, so good. Maximilian was packing up his orders for the day as usual. What Maximilian didn't know was that his courier was being arrested at that exact moment just a few hundred meters away from his home. What was unusual was the sound of someone drilling. He shook it off and thought nothing of it.
Wir sind bis zum Schluss davon ausgegangen, dass es sich um mehrere Personen handeln muss. Dass das einer packen könnte, das schien uns relativ unmöglich.
Die sind davon ausgegangen, dass solche Tätergruppen in der Regel auch bewaffnet sind.
Maximilian was arrested by the German MEK. After 15 months of Shiny Flakes operating on the clear web, it finally came to an end. The police found over 341 kilograms of illegal substances in his bedroom, a dozen prepaid phones, over 48,000 euros in cash, and a Bitcoin wallet with over 220,000 euros worth of crypto assets. Maximilian was sentenced to 7 years in juvenile detention and ordered to pay the state 3 million euros from his profits. Before the police made the case public, they conducted major raids against big dealers and customers to prevent any warnings. On March 12, 2015, the LKA held the famous press conference in Leipzig. 2 weeks after Maximilian's arrest, they shut down the Shiny Flakes website and even advertised their recruitment campaign. Maximilian was released early in February 2019 due to good behavior. But Maximilian did it again. Together with 4 accomplices, he built another website called Candy Love. This time, they made over 94,000 euros in profit and sold more than 20 kilograms of illegal substances. Some of Maximilian's earliest Bitcoin wallets, which the police couldn't decrypt, are believed to contain millions of euros worth of cryptocurrency. And who knows how many more wallets the authorities never discovered. Maximilian now faces up to 15 years in prison. The game is truly over.